What's going on, guys? Matt Odie here, and today I want to start a new section of my YouTube channel called Survivor Series. And basically during Survivor Series, what this is going to entail is me kind of going through all of the ups, the downs, the challenges, the setbacks, figuring out that next step as a survivor. Because, I know for a lot of us, being a survivor means that you've gone through a challenging experience in life, and at the other end, you realize there's a bigger path, a new meaning behind whatever you've gone through. But a lot of the times, we have to dig deep and go through the trenches a little bit to kind of have that self-discovery. And for me, going through cancer, I realized that cancer did not end when I was technically cancer-free. There was a lot of emotional and, mental baggage, even physical baggage that I had to still recover from. And I want to, during this series, really dive deep in all of those sections, such as relationship, our health, everything in between, and really go into how to maximize your life as a survivor. So today, the first thing that I want to discuss is one of the most common questions I get is, Matt, when we overcome these challenging experiences, what is the first step we should be taking to start rebuilding our life? And, for me, I think that's a great question, because we really are a better version of ourselves after we go through these challenging experiences, because your greatest lessons will come through the most challenging times. So my best advice is to start discovering yourself inwards first. Start figuring out what is the maybe mental roadblock that is not allowing you to take that next step into really recovering, rebuilding your life, and figure out where to go next. For me, what I had to do was say, what is my biggest pain points physically, mentally, emotionally in my relationship, and how do I start to focus on one of those things at a time to really push myself forward and start rebuilding myself. So really, I'm saying, after this challenging experience, what is the lesson I gained? And then what is the hurdle that is kind of taking me away from really maximizing my potential through that lesson? And a lot of the times how I would do that is I would first start to just really kind of figure out what is something that I went through that is meaningful to me, that I can not just maximize myself in, but eventually give back to help other people, because true happiness in life will come from helping others. So for me, I said, okay, I was a personal trainer before I went through cancer. I dropped from 185 pound healthy personal trainer to 110 pounds in a matter of 8 months. I had to relearn to walk again. So my first step was, okay, let's use all of the past experience that I've had, take it into the lessons I've also learned through cancer, and start rebuilding myself physically. And as I started doing that, I started to gain really valuable lessons. I started to gain a lot more knowledge and a lot more strength than I ever thought I had to endure and to really rebuild myself. And as I was able to do that, I then was able to eventually use all of those lessons to then go and help other people. And yes, there's other areas too. I had my relationship aspect where I was just dating, my now fiance at the time for only 2 months. And we went through this journey together. And then all of a sudden we come out of cancer, and now we're trying to actually have a true relationship of something we never had before. So that's another thing that we started to work on. My mental and emotional baggage, such as PTSD or maybe some anxiety that I had with maybe cancer reoccurrence, things like that. So I started with one thing at a time. I started to really progress in that area, and as I started progressing, I then added small layers to it, meaning adding other areas. So I started with my physical health, then I started to work on the relationship aspect, started working on the mental and emotional piece of it, and soon enough, I started to really fully rebuild my life so that I could then have that purpose. I think before you have a purpose, before you have a really calling or meaning, you need to work on your inner self first. So that's your very first step, I think, as a survivor, is working on your inner self, discovering the experience that you went through, how you can mold that into something greater, and what is holding you back maybe at this time that you need to focus on to really push yourself forward. So that is my first lesson for today. I hope this helped you guys, and we're going to really dive deep into this series. And I think that with that being said, I think it can help a lot of you who've overcome any challenging experience. It doesn't have to be cancer. It can be any challenging experience you've overcome in your life, and you are ready to take that next step, go to that next level. And if you want to take it a next step further, I also offer a program called Survivor HQ, where I've gathered an incredible group of coaches that help survivors rebuild their life by really dialing in on what is that key aspect. We have a relationship coach, we have a nutritionist, we have me as a personal trainer helping you with your body, we have a purpose-driven coach, we even have a mindset coach. So if you're really trying to dive in and really figure that out, I'd love for you to really check out my free mini course for Survivor HQ. Completely free. It goes through in depth with all of our coaches, where we've done a 15 to 20 minute interview with them. I think you'll get a ton of value. Just check out the description below, see if you like it, and then if you want to connect with a coach, we'll be happy to do so. If not, just keep staying on this channel. Definitely, if you can, click the subscribe button if you have not already, and hit the like button if this gave you any value. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon.